high breakdown rates of systems in rural Burkina Faso are the visible results of still poorly functioning water supply services. But in Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso's capital, WASHCost found an example of how the water sector could be organized by looking at the model of the ONEA water company.
Here you can see a stone pipe operated by, connected to the ONEA network. ONEA is the national utility managing water service in urban areas. So this is the stone pipe operated by ONEA. It's, here you will have someone caring about this specific stone pipe. He will come and open the pipe. In urban areas, ONEA is already managing based on what we call in WASHCost the life cycle cost approach. For example, in a town like Ouagadougou, we have water every day and we have a continuous service, and we know that they are budgeting and financing the water services based on the logics and the approach of life cycle costs. So yes, we already have this model running and working well in Burkina, and we have to see how we can apply or what we can learn from this experience in rural water.
The life cycle costs approach is a way of ensuring that the long-term costs are covered so that services do not fail the first time something goes wrong. WASHCost director Caterina Fonseca visited the ONEA company to learn more about their way of working.
Vous êtes ici dans le bureau des agents qui sont chargés de la maintenance. Et donc, nous, au niveau de l'ONEA, on a mis en place. Vous avez ici, c'est où se trouvent les équipements, leur site, le numéro d'équipement, leur désignation, les modèles, la désignation du modèle. Donc tout ce qui permet de pouvoir identifier l'équipement tel qu'il est. Et puis la gamme de maintenance. Et puis les périodes de maintenance ont été planifiées ici.
It was really interesting because I wanted to understand how do they do asset management, how do they plan it, what kind of skills do they have, and how some of this knowledge can be transferred to the management of systems in rural areas to ensure sustainability of infrastructure. They have a list of all their equipment, the major equipment, the minor equipment. They follow the specifications of the supplier of the equipment, and they plan for the minor and the major maintenance. And they also have a fund, so when things go wrong, when there's breakdowns in the infrastructure, they make sure that there's immediate follow-up. So they say they have a less than 2% breakdown rate.
We need to be clear about the fact that in the rural areas, the setting the service is different from the one in urban areas. People living in rural areas, it's more difficult because they are there is a very low density. They have much less means and much less capacity to pay for the water services. That said, the life cycle costs, even if ONEA is not calling it this way, enable ONEA to give a sustainable and continuous water services to the people. That's the ending of the objective, the final objective of the life cycle cost. And this is already done. Been done by ONEA. And it's the same thing we are asking from the rural water services, the rural water, to make sure that we set the system a way it's well managed, it's well operated, it's well maintained, the investments are done the way that people can access to a reliable and acceptable water services. As here, when people come to a hand pump in a village, they are sure that it's not breakdown, and they have to wait 3-4 days or months sometimes, or years sometimes, before it works again. If we are not able now, as we are reaching about 60% coverage, we are not able to be sure that this equipment, this investment is giving or is providing the service expected? How can we be sure that when we have 100% coverage, this will be useful?